Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's talk about cloud computing. So let's try to understand this concept in simple terms. Okay. So imagine you are a student or professional working on some project, and you have got your own computer where you store files, run applications, and do all your work. Okay, but what happens if your computer runs out of space, or you want to access your files from another device? So that's where the cloud computing comes in. Okay, so think of cloud as someone else computer. Okay, like a super powerful computer owned by some big company like Google, Amazon, or Microsoft. So these companies rent you space and services on their computers over the internet. So instead of depending on your own device, you can use the cloud to store files, run programs, and even process heavy tasks like analyzing the data or running the applications. So these services can be anything. Okay, so we generally call this as a cloud services. So now I have just listed some of the services here. You can see we have the storage service, database service, networking, okay, software, compute. So it could be any services. Okay, even it could be from machine learning related services, or database related services, or generative AI related services. Okay, so now let's talk specifically with respect to storage. Okay, so whenever I want to take a storage as a service, then I can just get into any of the cloud services. So there are some pricing models, like for example, I'm going with the AWS. So it provides me some free storage similar to the Google Drive, right? So if you have Google account, so it will just provide you some GBs of memory storage. So once you exceed that, then you need to start paying for that. So similarly here also in the AWS, there are a lot of services. So most of the services, when you start for the first time, it will be of free to use. So once you start using extensively, of course you need to pay for that, right? So yes, so this is what the cloud computing in simple terms is. Okay, so if you want to know the definition, so this is what the definition is. So cloud computing is the delivery of the technology services, including compute, storage, databases, networking, software, and many more. So over the internet with pay as you go pricing. So what is the meaning of pay as you go? So how much you use, you need to pay for that. Okay, so it's like similar to the electricity bill or the water bill. So if you are using the electricity bill extensively, then of course you need to pay the amount based on that, right? So similarly in the cloud computing, so whatever the services you're going to use, so based on the usage, you need to pay the bills. Okay, so yes, this is all about the cloud computing. So let's move on to the next video. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's understand the different types of cloud computing. So we have three types of cloud computing. So it's called software as a service, platform as a service, and the infrastructure as a service. So let's start with the software as a service. So software as a service provides a ready to use software applications over the internet. So here users access this application through a web browser without worrying about the infrastructure, middleware, or the application maintenance. So best examples is a Google Workspace like Docs, Google Sheets, Drive, okay, Gmail. So here we are not worried about the internal architecture or the infrastructure. So we directly start using this softwares, right? And apart from that, even the Microsoft 365 or Salesforce, Dropbox, okay, Zoom, okay. So all these are the applications of software as a service. So the main key features of software as services, first, it is fully managed by the provider. So here we don't require any installation. The second, it is accessible through a web browsers or the APIs. And the third, some of the softwares are subscription based, right? So you need to pay to access those softwares. So this is all about the software as a service. So next we have a platform as a service. So in the platform as a service, so here platform as a service provides a platform for the developers to build, deploy, and manage the applications without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. So here these companies provide you the entire infrastructure, okay, entire platform to you. Okay, so here when I say platform, like Heroku is the best example, right? So whenever you want to deploy something over the cloud, okay, so we have the Heroku, we have the Google App Engine, Microsoft Azure App Services, AWS Elastic Beanstalk. These are the examples of the platform as a service. So in simple terms, so these companies just provide a platform to you so that the developers focus more on the coding, not the infrastructure. and it includes all the development tools, databases, and the middleware, right? And even these services help us to do the scaling, okay? And it is also flexible in terms of the application development. So next we have infrastructure as a service. So infrastructure as a service is virtualized computing resources over the internet. Okay, when I say resources, it could be servers, storage, and networking. So they provide everything from the scratch to create any application. Like for example, you want to host the websites and applications, you can start using these services provided by the infrastructure as a service and build hosting websites. Okay, if you want to do some data storage or backup solution, or you want to run some enterprise applications, right? Or you have to have some disaster recovery steps. Okay, so everything can be done inside the infrastructure as a service. So AWS, Azure, and GCP can be considered as a infrastructure as a service, where they're gonna provide the entire infrastructure for the user to create any application from the scratch. So just to summarize, so software as a service, here the users are the end users, the people like you and me. We have a platform as a service. It's for the developers. Okay, so where the platform will just provide the entire platform development tools. Okay, and they're not worried about the infrastructure. Next we have the IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. So it is for the ID admins and the developers also, so where they want to create any of the application from scratch, right? And so yes, so this is all about different types of cloud computing. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's create a free Azure account. So to create a free account, just get into the free Azure account. Just type free Azure account, and you need to just click on the first link. Okay, so that is create your free account. So in this, click on try Azure for free, and you need to have the Microsoft account. Okay, so I don't have Microsoft account. Let's create a new one. Let me just click onto this create one, and let me enter Euron Imran at Euron dot one. So let me just click on to the next, and I need to enter the password. All right, so let me click on to the next. The next I need to enter my birth date. So it is Jan 20, and it's 1993. Let me click on to the next. Next I'll get a verification code to my email address. Let me just go and enter that. Okay, already I received it. Let me just enter that. It is 646036, and click on next. So once you done with creating the Microsoft account, then you can start creating the Azure account. Okay, so if you have the Microsoft account, you can just enter the account there. Okay, I'll just get back to that. Okay, let me just solve this puzzle. Okay, so please solve the puzzle so we know you're not a robot. Okay, click on to the next. Okay, so I need to match this image. Okay, use the arrows to rotate the object face in the direction of hand. Okay, I've just rotated. Click on submit. Okay, so verification done. All right, so it is directly getting me to the Azure free account. Okay, in case if you have an account, okay, so you can just directly enter your Microsoft account details, so it will navigate to the same page. Fine. So let me enter the first name. So MD, I'll enter Imran A, and the email address is my Microsoft account, and let me enter the phone number 975886695, and let me just enter the text me for the verification. So I'll receive the verification code here. So the verification code is 4693 and 6 and 2. And let me click on verify code. All right. So here it's asking me to enter the PAN card is optional. Okay. Fine. So company name, I'll just enter Euron here. And let me enter the address. So 511 Model Colony, First B Cross. So sometimes, so the PAN card entry will be It will not be an optional. I mean, later they'll ask you to enter the PAN card. Okay, so make sure to just enter the PAN card details as well. Okay, Yeshwanthpur and Bangalore. State is Karnataka, and let me enter the postal code. Let me agree to terms and conditions and click on to the next. So if you're from India, so make sure enter the PAN card also. Okay, later during the billing section, so that you'll not get any kind of errors. Okay, I mean like after creating an account. Okay, so if you enter your PAN card, so there could be no issues with your billing and any other things. Okay, so it's getting verified. Let's wait. All right, so I'm getting identification by the card. Okay, please provide the credit card or debit card details. Okay, let me just enter that. So this is my card here. Let me enter all the details. 602115 238661110, and let me enter. Okay, it's card name, sorry. So let me just paste the card name details here, and the card name is MD Imran A, and I need to enter when it will get expired. It will be on 10th 26, and CVV is 372. Let me enter the address details. Okay, already entered. Okay, let me just click on sign up. So it will redirect to the banking page. Okay, so where you need to verify your banking information. So I'll enter a password. So it is 085 308. Okay, so you need to make sure you have 2 rupees in your bank account. Okay. Okay, so 2 rupees got detected. Okay, so only click on sign up. Okay, so next is asking us for the multi-factor authentication. Let me just do that. Okay, click on next. And here already have downloaded the multi-factor, that is Microsoft Authenticator app. Okay, so make sure to download that, and you can just search, go to Play Store or App Store and search for Authenticator app. Okay, so okay, let's verify by the identity, but even if you want to set the multi-factor authentication, you can do that. Okay, so I'll receive the mail to this email address. Okay, and this is my code 59, and click on verify. All right. So here, let me just give some feedback and click on submit. So yes, so we are completed with the Azure sign up, and I can just click onto this, go to Azure portal, and this is my portal. Okay, Azure, Microsoft Azure portal. Okay, so we are done with creating an account. Okay, and we'll try to explore more about this in our upcoming videos. Hello everyone, welcome back. So in this video, let's try to understand what is the meaning of data centers is. So in large organization, you will find thousands of servers, each running a different applications. So these servers play a very important role in handling the business day-to-day operations. So now imagine the challenge of maintaining all these servers scattered across a multiple location. For example, if the organization has their business at the multiple places, they have to keep this kind of setup at each and every location, right? So this is where the concept of data centers comes into play. So what if we put all these servers together at one place, right? So that's what the data center is. So data center is a specialized facility or an infrastructure, so which is basically help us to set up all the IT operations and the equipment. So with all the servers at one location, so organizations can implement the centralized security measures. So this protects the sensitive data and the IT infrastructure from the threats, which can be from the outside world, right? So whenever you hear a data center, it's just a physical space, so where you can find all the equipments. Okay, so and you can just connect to these different resources through an internet. So yes, so this is all about a data center. Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, let's try to understand the two important concepts in Azure, regions and the availability zones. So imagine a region as a geographic area, so where Azure has its data centers. For example, so there are regions like East US, West Europe, New Zealand, okay, so all these are the regions, and each region is strategically located to provide a services to nearby customers while ensuring the low latency and high performance. For example, I am creating an application which has to be served to New Zealand customers, so then I can create all the resources within the New Zealand region. And within the each region we have the availability zones. So what is these zones? So these zones are physically separate data centers. So it means that so whenever your application goes down, they can access your application from the other zones. So within the region I can have the three availability zones. So availability zones provide high availability and the disaster recovery solutions. So Azure has provided this website, okay, so from where you can just access all your data centers. So this is right now, if I click on to any of this data center here, you can see all the data center details with the availability zones. So this is all the details. Let me just go and search if we can find the data centers in India. Yeah, so here we have South India, so we have the data center here, and it is located near Chennai. And so can see all the basic details, and we can find the other data centers like South Central, right, India's South Central, so it is located in the Hyderabad. So next we have Central India, so it is located in the Pune, right? So these are the data centers, okay? So these are the regions, okay? Whenever I say data centers or the regions, this is what the regions are. And within the region, we have the availability zones, okay? Just these are just data centers. Even these are data centers which has been divided into some different locations, so they provide the high availability and the disaster recovery solutions. And so even you can just see the map view, okay? So this is a map view. If you want to see that in the table, okay, so this is the regions, okay, location, data residency, when it was opened, okay, so and you can see the availability zones here. So you can see the products, right? So you can see, for example, Australia East, so this available with the three zones, okay? So within the Australia East I can find the three data centers. It's a physical infrastructure that is being set up. So if one of the availability zone is not able to serve your application, then you can just redirect to that to other zones, okay? So so this is what the meaning of disaster recovery is. So here you can see the entire details regarding the regions, availability zones, and the products. And even you can just filter it based on the region compliance, industry compliance, okay, global compliance, okay? So here you can just take a virtual tour also, okay? So I want you to just explore this. So this is very good, okay, just to understand like how the data centers is working, and you can learn more about the availability zones as well. So yes, so this is all about the regions and the availability zones.